In an ever-evolving digital landscape, for your business to thrive, you must adapt or die. Welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI, the podcast helping you harness the power of AI and marketing tools to revitalize and grow your business. And now here's your host, marketing expert and author of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI, Emmanuel Rose.
Welcome to this episode of Marketing in the Age of AI. In this episode, we're going to dig into some of the do's and don'ts of LinkedIn marketing, and hopefully how we're going to use some AI tools or AI support in order to broaden our reach, get better messaging out there, produce more prospects and clients. And today, I have the pleasure of introducing a pioneer in digital networking, Al Kushner. Al is a best-selling author and a sought-after LinkedIn growth strategist, renowned for his innovative approach of leveraging artificial intelligence on LinkedIn. His transformative book, The AI LinkedIn Advantage, has empowered professionals and businesses alike to optimize their LinkedIn presence, grow meaningful networks, and drive exceptional engagement. And I'm very honored to welcome Al Kushner to the show.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Pleasure to be here, and thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. I was one of those ones that loved LinkedIn when I first saw it and jumped on it. I have, I don't know, something like 14,000 connections now, but I don't know that I have ever leveraged the networking as much or as much as I was able. So I'm excited to have a conversation with you and see what I should be doing differently and what the listeners should be doing differently.
Sure. Happy to help and happy to evaluate your profile while we're in the program.
All right, a little tough love from Al Kushner.
Yeah, happy to do it.
Well, good. I guess let's just start at the beginning. How did you focus on LinkedIn as one of your primary topics and offers?
Well, I think what I liked about the platform is that it's really about connecting with business to business. I find that other platforms, social media, were not really kind of geared for that process. So this was something that was always of interest, to provide a way to connect with someone, to network with someone without actually having to physically be there,
Right.
which is great. And I can reach so many people. I mean, LinkedIn has over 900 million people on the platform. Yep. I mean, it's incredible. When I started on LinkedIn 20 years ago, it was never like that at all. It was just growing, but never at those numbers. But as soon as I think Microsoft took over,
Yep.
It really just grew tremendously. And I was really fortunate to be there with them throughout the ride of being part of that platform for so many years. So it's great.
Well, the first thing I want to ask you about is how do you deal with the pitch slappers, people that you connect with, and then they instantly start sending you their CV and offers and are not looking to network?
Well, first of all, usually they give you a heads up before they do that. They'll say something in their message like, hey, I'm an SEO expert. I can help you leverage. And already you just block them itself. And you can use tools on LinkedIn as well to actually limit that amount of, people want to contact you. Obviously, you have to be very vigilant with whoever you're connecting with to see whether or not they're going to add value to your connection. So be selective whoever you decide you want to connect with. I mean, even if they're in sales, they may not pitch slap you immediately. So give them a chance. I always give people a chance.
Right.
But the fact is that as soon as they blow it, that's it. They're out and they're blocked. I mean, that's it. I got options. I'm not worried about it. And that's been very helpful for me to grow my network selectively. So when I do outreach to people, for example, I connect with a lot of accountants, like with a lot of attorneys, professionals, send out newsletters to them. They value what I have to say to them, which is important. They subscribe to my newsletter, and they look forward each week to receiving information that is going to make a difference in their marketing efforts. So, yeah, I think it's a great platform.
All right. Yeah. Well, that is, I agree. It's a great platform. And when I look at your your profile now, you got the sliders that's going on LinkedIn on your profile, and this is a relatively new innovation, isn't it?
Yeah, well, if you join the Sales Navigator, you'll have access to that ability to do that with your background. So it's almost like having a billboard, behind you that you can showcase various aspects of what you offer. So I think it's a great thing. So I put a lot of testimonials in there, get people's attention, and that's really what you have to do because you have to really optimize your profile because you only have a few seconds. You only have like one chance, or a second. I don't know. You don't get a second chance for a first impression, and that's
Right.
but you got to grab the attention. So sliders work, whatever gives you a leg up, that's a good thing. They'll read the rest.
I love it. So in the book, that it is the book out yet, or is it just about out?
Well, the book is out in the hardcover version. The
Uh-huh.
soft cover will be released July 4th, as well as with the Audible version, as well as Spotify audiobooks,
Nice.
ebook as well. So, but yeah, it is currently out as a hardcover. That's available.
And so, what's the position that you're taking on AI and AI tools for the LinkedIn connections and outreach and content?
Well, I can tell you off the bat. I mean, it saves you a lot of time. I mean, if you want to create content, I mean, tools like ChatGPT, Grammarly, they're all great tools to help you refine your content. You can create scripts for videos, and you can actually respond to influencers when they get their information and copy the information, reply back to them instead of, hey, say, thanks for sharing. Be more descriptive. And a lot of times they appreciate that. And also, it helps increase their post exponentially by creating that chat that they may have not have thought about when they post it. So that's really helpful.
Yeah, I think that the challenge I have is like with somebody who I want to connect with, or I've connected with, and then like what's the Al Kushner secret sauce to starting the conversation through the DMs?
Very simple. Depends on how you connected to them. Did you get a direct connection or are you following them? That's the thing. If you're following them and you're replying to their, let's say, post, which is usually a soft method of doing, which is what I do, see if they respond to that. If they thank you for the post or if they are appreciative in any other way, that's the opportunity to go ahead and reach out to them and ask for a connection. Because at least you have something common. You've given value to what they posted, and that's something they appreciated. If they
Right.
have a podcast, leave a review on their podcast. There's nothing wrong with doing that, and let them know, and then give value whoever you're connecting with. So if you're connecting with someone, I usually do is I send them a free ebook.
Uh,
Say thanks for connecting. Want to share something with you that might be of value, and let me know if that's of interest. And that's something that you just want to do. Give more than you receive. That's the secret sauce.
I love it. That is, and so what is the ebook, the version of your AI and LinkedIn
Well, I have
networking?
a lead magnet which uses some of the features in there, so I use that to,
Yeah,
get just as profile optimization. My book is a little more comprehensive than that, but at least gives them a taste of something that they can receive that may be of interest.
yeah, that makes sense. And then what is kind of the overarching principles that you're working with the AI in LinkedIn right now that you outline in the book?
Well, I talk about how to use the technology to optimize one's profile, particularly looking for keywords in your sentence when you're above your image that you have. You have a way to provide keywords that people may do searches for that get you more found. So I think you can do up to 60 keywords, I believe, and then as well as enhance your bio. Refine any past experiences. You don't have to list every past experience that you had. Like since you started McDonald's when you're 16, people don't care about it, but
Right.
they list it anyway. Go figure. I list 2 or 3 top, professions that you've worked on. If you've done any other type of volunteer work, that's always considered favorably. A lot of people like that. If you've won an awards, if you have any publications that you have done, it's all can be listed as part of your profile, which just enhances that. And most importantly is recommendations.
Okay.
The more recommendations you have, the better you look in front of whoever you want to connect with, because those are real people, and that really makes a difference. So if you haven't had a recent recommendation, get one, and even a podcast guest, and I'll give you one today, so you won't have to worry about that.
Well, I appreciate that. What's your working theory on content and frequency of posting content?
Well, I usually post at least for my newsletter at least once a week, but I have 5 different newsletters, so it's almost like posting 5 different times. But I also post videos as well. I'm
Mhm.
part of groups on LinkedIn. Are you part of any groups at all on LinkedIn?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. So what I do is when I post on LinkedIn, I post videos because that is what LinkedIn loves. So if you can do a video within the 90 seconds or less, you're going to get a lot more love from LinkedIn on the algorithm. You're going to get a lot more looks, and that's really going to make a difference as opposed to people just posting with content itself. You're going to stand out. And that's why I teach in my courses how to stand out above the rest. And really, people are shocked now they can do that. And you can do it all with AI too.
And so what does it look like when you say you can do it with AI? What are the steps of that?
Well, simple. You can create, for example, the script with, let's say, ChatGPT,
Okay.
and then you can use platforms like I think Synthesia, I believe it's called,
Yeah.
where it creates an avatar that would actually take your message and basically post it on there, and it's really amazing. The image of the individual, the avatar, is very real and lifelike.
Yep.
And it's incredible that they can go ahead and make this technology available, and it's very reasonable cost, and it really gets a lot of eyeballs. I mean, it gets attention, and it really is just a great thing to use, particularly in the groups, because there's so much noise in those groups. But you can rise above the noise by having an attractive avatar who can say what you want them to say within 90 seconds, and you'd be quite surprised how much traction you'll gain as a result of that. It's incredible.
And how do you find topics to generate content around? Are you using something to crawl LinkedIn, or using some kind of a Google tool for trends, or what's the process for topics?
ChatGPT. Come
Okay.
on, ask ChatGPT. Create prompts. They're prompts like prompt engineers. You do the same thing. Create a prompt.
Yep.
Ask the prompt to give you 50 titles for newsletters on for accountants, uh, and then you can actually go into deeper features like talk about the top 20 pain points for accountants that are experiencing or attorneys. Depending on your target market that you're going after,
Yep.
and then you can use that to expand upon those features. For example, I did one recently on how to do referrals and ask for referrals on LinkedIn. I created a 90-second video that demonstrates the importance of referrals, how valuable it is, and it got a lot of views. People were surprised at how important that is and how easy it is with artificial intelligence.
Love it. Those are good ways to generate meaningful content for your ideal client profile.
Yeah.
What? Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I think that's exactly what I do.
Okay.
It's
Yep.
you're never short of topics to talk about as long as you use the technology available to you. It's endless, which is great. So.
Fair enough. Just talk about a couple of the errors that you see consistently in LinkedIn profiles, and how we might overcome some of those things.
Well, number one, of course, is going to be the headshot. I mean, you want to have a professional headshot. Spend the time, take the money to do that. Get it done recently if you can. Background images as well are going to make a difference as well. Talk about some key points. You can use Canva to create these kind of backgrounds. You can create a slider. For example, if you have the premium version of LinkedIn and have 5 different variations, so you can have this. I mean, with your profile you have different areas of expertise. You could showcase that on your backgrounder, in using that ability. If you have the sales navigator, that gives you an ability to create that possibility. So many other things I would say that the most important thing before you do any outreach is that really focusing on your about section. I would focus also on some of the services that you offer, experience, and particularly if you've written anything, also showcase that as well to show people that you're a thought leader. If you are creating content or have had content published, you should provide links on your profile to that particular reference, because that's going to gain credibility with anyone you're connecting with. So that's just right off the top to look at. That's before you do any type of outreach. And then once you get your profile optimized, then you can begin the outreach, and you can use tools like Sales Navigator to find out who you want to connect with in your target audience, from the size of the company, for the job title, and most importantly, if they're active on LinkedIn. A lot of people are not active on LinkedIn at all.
Right.
They can be dormant, and that's it, and you will never know. And you're sending out, things that, you're deciding, oh, I sent an outreach a month ago, they didn't respond, and they never probably gotten it because they're not active on LinkedIn. So those are things that my book talks about and tells you what to avoid.
I love it. That's great. A little bit about, tell us a little bit about the frequency of content that you should post. Like, how often should we be posting?
Well, when I post, for example, if I'm posting to groups, I post at least 3 times a week. And those are usually videos, Tuesdays through Thursdays, preferably in the morning between 8 and 10 Eastern Standard Time. And newsletters, I usually post once a week at the end of the week, usually around Thursday. But I have 5 different newsletters, so I'll post 5 different times, different categories. So that's just an example. That would be at a minimum to do, at least to get your. And like I said, there's no shortage of information available to post. So, and you could schedule that in advance as well, which is what I do. Usually I write on the weekend, I create the post and the videos I want to do. And then during the week, just to have it scheduled and uploads. And it's important when you're uploading videos to upload it directly into LinkedIn as opposed to sharing a link off to YouTube. They don't really value that as much, and it won't get as much recognition. So upload directly to LinkedIn, so you'll be able to get more LinkedIn love.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. They also don't like links going out of LinkedIn in your posts either, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, and what's unique about the newsletter that you do send out, not only do they get notified whoever your followers are, but they'll actually receive a email directly into their, offline, which is great, into their inbox, whether it's corporate or Gmail account. And usually it gets through the spam filters because of LinkedIn has such a high recognition, a high authority that it gets viewed compared to sending out directly from your corporate office to someone and make a spam filter. LinkedIn, that's not the case.
Yeah. All right. Well, I know I get those every day. I get those emails from LinkedIn, and it's impressive that's one of the values they provide.
Yeah, it's very good value, I would say, to say the least.
Well, let's just say lastly, what do you foresee the future of LinkedIn in terms of the AI advancements, and how should we as marketers prepare for what's going to be coming down the pike?
Well, I would say that the technology is always advancing. I mean, 5 years from now, it could be a game changer, I would say, in terms of the ease of creating videos, having yourself, as an avatar, and talking. I think there are a lot of places that people wouldn't imagine they would be in. Like, I just had an interview with someone who was from Portugal. I mean, of all places. I mean, it's incredible how the reach is available on LinkedIn. So the future of AI with LinkedIn is definitely going to be there. I think if you don't, embrace it, you're going to be left behind. So you really got to take advantage of it.
All right. Well, I hope the AI LinkedIn advantage is a successful endeavor for you, Al, and I sure appreciate your time this afternoon having this conversation.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity, Manuel. I look forward to being on here again and perhaps talk about other LinkedIn attributes, which are always good to know.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Have a great night, Al.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Well, it's a good reminder to take the time to look at your profile, make sure it's up to date, maybe add the slider and some of your more recent experiences. And if you've been writing or producing content, add those to your profile as well, and work on building relationships, providing value first, and then asking for something in return. Hope this was valuable for you today, this episode about LinkedIn. My hope for you is that you take some time to find some LinkedIn tools that are AI supported and use that to save some time for yourself, and use that time to upskill and learn some new things, or spend it with your friends and family, or get outside and go for a walk in nature. It's Emmanuel Rose, Marketing in the Age of AI.
Thanks for listening to Marketing in the Age of AI. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. Your copy of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI is available at Amazon.com or EmmanuelRose.com. You can also connect with Emmanuel on LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.